Are we live? Happy Monday, everyone. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. We had a fun weekend, hot weekend. I was not expecting it to be as hot as it was in North Dakota because usually we have such a low humidity and the heat this weekend was intense. But we had such a great weekend. I'm excited to be home. One of the things that I'll tell all of my active athletic people over here that watch my videos, take a bath with Epsom salts. That absolutely changed the way that I feel today. We played 5 games this weekend. I'm a mom of 3. I'm relatively fit, but not like pro athlete fit. And soaking last night in Epsom salt bath made a huge difference. But today what I'm going to talk about is creating habits over hustle. If you have followed me for any amount of time, you know I'm in the network marketing space. I love it. I'm absolutely so blessed to be in network marketing. And this year I've kind of branched off a little bit to venture into mindset and strategy coaching, and I am loving the things that I'm learning, the things that I'm getting to teach, and how present I'm able to be inside of that because of what network marketing has done for me. But today what I'm going to talk about is habits over hustle. And one of the things that I have seen as a network marketer, I've been a network marketer for the past 7 years, is hustle, more, make more contacts, have more conversations, do more. And my top 2 strengths are strategy and I think diligence or consistency or something along those lines. I like being consistent. I like having a strategy, and I like having a plan that I can execute regularly. When I am in a season of hustle, I am constantly moving. I am never stopping, never resting. I get frustrated. I'm chaos. I'm all over the place. And as you can see, this summer has been chaos. It's been hustle everywhere. We have been moving. I've been in this office for the end of May, and it's still a complete disaster because it's just been one thing after another. And what I've been feeling for the last couple of months is just chaos. It's just constant things coming at me, trying to remember names. Like I was thinking this morning, I was like, wow, I'm having a really hard time remembering names. Well, my brain's probably tired, a little foggy, and I'm probably not resting as much as I should be. But we have created this crazy summer full packed with all of the things for my kids, for us. We're traveling, we're doing all the things. What happens whenever you get into a season of hustle is that your habits have to kick in to keep you consistent with the things that you are already doing, or the things that you're trying to do, or the things that you want to do. So whether this be having a regular workout routine or drinking enough water, I've got my gallon water bottle here because it's a habit. It's a habit to drink a lot of water. And when I get out of that habit, when I step into the hustle zone, which is summertime for me right now, I miss out on those things. I start losing out on the things that, if I'm not consistent and diligent about them, go by the wayside. And what happens when that happens is I start to experience exhaustion, burnout. I start to feel the pressure. My anxiety starts to get high. I can't keep a clear thought. I'm not accessible to my family because I'm so locked in what's going on in my mind. And hustle works great for some people. I'm not one of those people. I think that there are seasons for hustle, but I think that there has to be an active implementation of habit building. One of the things that I started this year was creating 3 habits that I could do every single morning. So that was quiet time, working out, and making my bed. Top 3 things that take care of me in the morning, takes care of my mind, my body, and my spirit. And I'm ready for the day. I'm ready to embrace whatever's coming my way. And that just made me feel good to have that habit. And what I learned through it was a book, Atomic Habits. It's called habit stacking. So when you have a great habit, you take that and you stack another habit on top of it. So if you're someone who desperately wants to read more or to fill your mind with better things, you take something like being consistent at working out every single day and you add that into it. So for me, that's listening to audiobooks. Now, what I've also learned about myself as far as audiobooks go and podcasts go, I like to take notes when I listen. So doing it during my workout time is not the best time for me because then I'm not getting an effective workout because I'm stopping to take notes. Something I've just recently learned about myself that I've known for a long time, but I thought, man, my workouts aren't as effective. Well, because the habits that I had stacked together actually weren't cohesive. So now when I'm doing dishes or when I'm doing laundry or I'm doing something that doesn't necessarily require a ton of physical activity, but I can still engage my brain, I can have a notepad next to me. I have these little, notepads, and I take notes while I'm listening. That way my brain's engaged while I'm completing other tasks. That's one of the ways that I get a lot of things done around the house. I habit stack. So I have certain chores that I do on certain days, and I will just habit stack that with, so whether it's catching up on calls or it's listening to recordings or I'm sending voice messages, I habit stack that with something that doesn't require a whole lot of physical activity from me, so I can be present. I can still get done what needs to get done, and I'm adding another habit to it. Habits create patterns of behaviors that over time will get you results. So in network marketing, there is always, for most compensation plans, there is this lure of fast money. And in our compensation plan, you can make close to $5,000, $10,000 relatively quickly if you are a connector, if you are energetic, you're excited, and you're coachable. Simply by just learning how it works and just sharing products that you love, sharing the opportunity. Sharing the opportunity is one of my favorite things to share, but you can earn quick money relatively fast. I earned $1,700 in my first couple of weeks just by telling people about the products I was using, the experience I was having, and how it had changed my life. It was awesome. And then I went on to build a business where I went through seasons of hustle. I gave up a business to do Isogenics full time. We got pregnant shortly after that. I went through my pregnancy of having 2 toddlers and juggling pregnancy and moving and all the things. And what has always happened for me is that I have always been able to fall back on residual income because I built habits that value service up front. I value my customers. I value my clients. I value my team builders. I want to know about them. I want to know what they're doing. I want to know about their lives and their kids and what's going on. And I may not be 100% messaging them every single day, but be sure that when I check in on them, it's with intention. It's with, hey, how are you? How is life going? Not just, hey, your next order's coming out. Sometimes that is it. But other times it's the opportunity to be a part of their lives, to share something that I have that will help them. A habit tracker, a grocery list, some recipes, something that will bless their life. This has allowed me to be present in my life, but also know that when I step fully into my work hour or my 2 work hours or whatever, I've created habits that say, okay, here's what I'm going to do next. Habits bring you freedom. It brings you the ability to procrastinate with intention, to put off things that would be fun to do, but to do the things that you need to do first. Constant hustle for me, what I've experienced, what I've seen, creates chaos, and eventually it creates burnout. And I am someone, like I said, who's been in this space for a long time. And if you don't create habits that bless your life, that fill your cup, that bring you joy, then it becomes a chore. It becomes a job. And what most people in the entrepreneurial space want to paint is the freedom of being your own boss, the freedom of doing all of these different things. And it is freedom, but you have to create what works for you. Plugging into someone else's system may not work for you because maybe you're wired differently, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it took me several years to realize I'm unique. I'm different. I don't do things like other people, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as I'm still being effective. So as long as I am still meeting what I need to meet to grow a business that I desire to grow on the time I desire to grow it, and have realistic expectations about what's going to come from that, I can create habits around that. Because the work I do, I love, but my family is my priority. They will always be my priority. And so I have to create habits and boundaries and priorities, put those in place that allow me to step into this chaos zone of my office for the 2 or so hours a day to know what I'm doing and to be effective with it. So this takes a lot of intention. It takes focus. It takes deciding what you want and putting your blinders on. One of my teammates has said before that I talk about putting your blinders on all the time. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You cannot walk out into the world right now without blinders on. Otherwise, you're so distracted by what's going on, you can't focus on your own tasks. You can't go to the grocery store without a list. Otherwise, most of the time you're there for hours and you're picking up stuff that you don't want. And you're buying things that you don't need because you're distracted. Because maybe someone stopped you mid-grocery shop and you forgot what you were doing. It is important that you create habits around the things that you want to see change in your life. So one of the things that I sat down today, we've been going. I told my husband, I was like, you know what? I need a budget. I need to go back to budgeting. I need to go back to tracking where I'm spending my money instead of just spending it everywhere and then going, crap, where did my money go? So that's my focus for today, is getting my budget in alignment. That's one of the things. Looking at what I want to share for the rest of July and making sure that I have a layout of content that allows me to share that. and looking at what I'm trying to create with the Flourish Academy and making sure that I have deadlines for the things that I'm trying to put out there so that they're getting done. It's all about creating habits. It's all about creating a system and a flow for you that works. This will serve you long term. So many times when you're starting something and you're in the beginning and it's kind of frustrating because maybe you thought you were going to make more money or you were going to do something different and it hasn't worked out like that, you have to have that bigger vision. And then you create habits around that vision. So one of the things we do every day right now is I have a small pot of people that we do a work hour every single day at 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. We're on there for about an hour, maybe a little bit more, just depending on how the conversation's going or what we're doing or if we're working through things together. That's something that I schedule in. The habits that we go through in there are service, offer value, invite people to our team, invite people to what we're doing. But it's a habit. So now I know at 9:15, okay, I got to call at 9:30, and it's going to take me about an hour. And if it doesn't happen for that day, it doesn't happen, but then I try to put it somewhere else in my day. And what has happened is I look forward to that hour where I spend in community with these other women who are looking to build and to grow together. It's like a small mastermind, and it's amazing. But the other thing habits bring you, it brings you peace. It brings you peace, and it allows more flow into your life. One of my favorite mentors this morning was talking about what she's learned since she became platinum in our company, which is like she's residually earning $1 million+ a year, which is incredible. She has incredible influence and impact. She is one of the most knowledgeable women that I know, but she leads with service and she leads with opportunity, and she's not ashamed to share it. But she's talked about how she's open to whatever is coming to her. She is open and ready to receive, and that's only because she stepped into the habit of gratitude, which creates abundance, which creates peace and joy and overfill, and you want to give that to other people. So for me, that's what habits create for me. It creates a space where I can fill my cup and I can pour that out into other people. It creates a space where I want to continually develop what I'm doing, provide more trainings, more opportunities for people to work with me so that I can overflow what's inside of me onto other people. So what it creates is the opportunity to do more with what you have in your hands. And to create a system around that, to create long-term ideas and thinking that will bless you for times to come, that will bless other people that experience the ripple effect of what you're doing. This allows you to make a plan, to delegate tasks, and to take your time doing the things that need a little bit more time for you. So tomorrow, I'll be doing batch recording for the Flourish Academy, going through weeks 1 through 5 and recording the videos for that, batch working. So I've done a little bit here, I've done a little bit there, now it's time to bring the pieces together. This is a habit, creating a schedule that works for me. I don't do all of the things every single day. I do a little bit of the things every single day, and then I have one day where I spend a little bit more time working on bigger tasks. This has allowed me to have freedom, to have peace, and to front load my week so that I'm getting all of the integral, important, income producing things done first. So then at the end of the week, then I get to have time to just connect and spend cultivating relationships and creating resources for my team and for my clients. So habits over hustle. There is nothing wrong with hustling, but over time you have to create the habits that will allow you to have that freedom so you're not constantly having to redo things or recreate things. You do it once and then you tweak it and then you make it better and then you pass it on and you continue to pass it on and you continue to create other people and other habits that can stack on top of the ones that you have already created. So my goal with being a leader is to create more leaders who then take the habits, the tools, the knowledge that I've had, and they pass them on to other people. Then we bring them in, and as we're learning more about them and from them, we create new resources for the people to come. This is how residual growth is built, where you take one thing, a single thing. If you're a representative of a product or a service, you take one thing and you become really good at that one thing, and you tweak it and you fine tune it over time instead of getting distracted by what's around you and thinking that what you're doing is not enough. It may feel like it's not enough because you haven't given it time to truly set roots and flourish. And that is the goal, is that you will create habits that sustain you over time, that with time and intention and development, you can make into something better and bigger and more beautiful. But you have to start with good to get to great. You have to start with the seed to fully grow. So put your blinders on, decide what you do really well right now and what are some other things that you could stack onto your solid habits to create new routines for yourself, to give you the ability to flourish in the season of life that you're in. Hope this blessed you today. If it did, I would love for you to share it with someone, tag them below who needed this video. Hope you guys have the best Monday. Bye, y'all.